Hello, it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it? It feels like Sunday. Feels like Sunday. It's been a bit of a Tuesday already, and we're having to have coffee to revive us because we've been going since very early this morning, haven't we? Janina's just coming, she's making her coffee. We're just back from the hospital down in Boston, and that's quite the trip itself. Then we got marching orders and instructions, and Janine will come and tell you just how her mother's doing.
And Jiminy's back.
And Jiminy's back. Where is he?
Here.
Come on, Jim.
Jim. There's Jiminy.
Come on. Hello. Come on. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a great
right.
boy. Yeah, you can fill everybody in and
Okay.
how your mummy's doing.
People are still logging in. Wanda's here. Jiminy's here. We're up to 50. Yep, people are still.
And Janet is here, and she
Janet.
very kindly and very unexpectedly arrived here and has been just holding down the fort, which is lovely.
Oh, jeez.
Because we've not been.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been off delivering donkeys today and moving things around and
Keeping mules upright.
Yes, keeping mules, or you've been keeping mules up. I got a list of things that I needed to bring for my mother early this morning.
Yes.
She wanted her ropes and
Glasses,
tweezers,
pliers, gun, which is actually a glue gun,
a glue
by
gun,
the way.
not a real gun.
Not a real gun. No.
And so she's doing better. The incident happened yesterday. I was on my way home, as a lot of people know. I was on my way home with Jiminy in the back seat and a big trailer, driving home from Aiken, and Elizabeth called because my mother's hadn't been feeling well and her oxygen level has dropped. And it had dropped to 84, 85.
She went down to 82.
And it needs to be up around 95.
Yeah.
So the ambulance,
For good living.
Yeah, for good living. So the ambulance came, took her to Beverly Hospital.
Our favorite.
Our favorite, yes.
Our favorite.
We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, we're enjoying it.
Beverly Hospital, and I kept driving, so Elizabeth went. I hooked up with them about 2.5 hours later, and she'd already run through a bunch of tests, and it turns out that when my mother's kid fell back onto, remember that she had that accident where she fell and hit the handle of the door, which caused her kidney to bleed. They had taken her off her blood thinners because of the bleeding from the kidney. So the DVT, the
Deep vein thrombosis.
had
It basically sat stationary, but unfortunately it sheds clots, and the clots have a horrible habit of travelling up the body to the lungs and to the heart. And I think in very many ways we were fortunate that they travelled to the lung. Unfortunately, Carlene is not well known for having the most efficient lungs.
Yes.
And what it had done with her dominant and better functioning lung is doctor this afternoon said basically it was covered with blood clots.
Yes.
Not one, several.
Both lungs.
Both lungs. And I think importantly for Carlene, the one that actually normally works well was fully compromised. So they were quite limited. There was too many to vacuum out.
Yes.
So they haven't vacuumed them out. So they're trying blood thinners again, and the blood thinners seem to have been doing a good job. Hello, darling.
Her oxygen levels are much better.
Yes.
She's in the 90s now, which is great. And then they're moving her out of ICU.
Yes.
So all of the indications is that she is on the mend and she will recover.
Yes.
Nice.
But
she's
going to have limitations.
Yes.
And I think one of the limitations is going to be what she can do that expends energy.
Yeah, they don't want her pushing herself in any, like, even she can walk to the bathroom, but no steps,
no stairs,
no
walking of a certain distance, because
until she goes through all of the rehab. So
and
I don't know when we're gonna
3 months minimum. They won't sign her off until 3 months.
Yeah.
And they'll have to do continual testing. But because the clots are, I mean, she's like amassing clots at the moment.
Yeah.
Because the clots keep arriving, unless they were doing scans and CT scans on a daily basis, they can't really keep a hold of it. So we asked what we should be looking out for at home. and they said breathlessness, and we're like, tick. And what else did they say? Breathlessness, her feeling that going from stationary to ambulatory was problematic.
Yeah,
we've got
like
that.
getting up, getting up and the huffing and puffing.
Yeah, and they also said to use the O2 monitor, which was quite interesting because the EMT told us it was useless. So they said that they give actually quite a good reading, and we're able to maintain and get all the information that we need. So I think this is going to be a bit of a change of pace for your mum. And we'll take it from there.
Yeah, we're going to go back to pushing her around in the wheelchair again.
Yeah.
So
you've already fallen down the hill pushing the blinking. You're not
trusted. So I did take a header today, trying to roll down the hill, the little the walker.
You were actually so lucky you didn't have your mum on that.
Went head over heels, and I hurt my thumb. I bent my thumb back. And several of you may have noticed that I also have had blunt trauma to my my lip and my chin area here. That was from the beautiful run-in shed that I built.
Yes.
And one of the boards came down and smashed into my face. I'm lucky I didn't lose my teeth, and tore my lip, and so I have that injury.
But I did say, because her lips had all swollen up, I said I was going to tell everybody that she'd been on a plastic surgery vacation.
Yes,
and she hadn't really been building things.
I would come back looking rested and fabulous, and I obviously, no, that's not the case. Yeah, so we're taking it one day at a time. Hopefully, we're going to.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Janet. We're going to figure it out. Yeah, failure's not an option, so we will figure it out.
Yeah.
One of the problems that has that happened is Jiminy. I was warned of this. I didn't believe my mother when she said, "Be really careful when you open the door with Jiminy that Larky doesn't attack him." I was like,
"No,
Jiminy?
All the way around."
Oh, were they out here?
No, that's my dogs.
Yeah, those are her dogs. That Jiminy doesn't attack
Larky.
Yeah. So when I came home, nobody was here, so I put Larky on a leash, and I slowly brought Jiminy into the door, and they immediately started fighting with each other. So not a bad fight, broke it up, and then put Larky. Larky was in the house. Jiminy was outside. I can't remember the sequence of events, and I was moving stuff out of because I went to go take. My truck and trailer was hooked up, so I went to go take my mother's truck to go over to Beverly Hospital. And I left Jiminy loose in the yard so that he could pee before I put him back in the car. Mm-hmm. And I was carrying boxes, and I opened the door to come into the cabin carrying the boxes, and Larky ran me over and ran outside and chased Jiminy down and rolled him. And so I went running down there, dropped all the boxes, went running down there, and broke them up out of the fight. Neither one of them had a collar on it, so luckily nobody could see me on camera because I grabbed Larky by his ear, runs in the family, so that he couldn't go and dive back into the fight, and I was swatting Jiminy away. Like Jiminy wanted to they both still wanted to fight with each other, and I had no handles, they had no leashes, no anything. So I'm kicking and swinging and swearing, and fortunately, me yelling and swearing to keep the dogs from fighting. Nick came out.
He's like, sounds like my kind of evening.
Came out, and he was able to
Take one.
He was able to put his arms around Larky and got him into the car. So yeah, that was, and I don't understand what the dynamic. They've been living together for 2 years. Happily, they share beds together, but boy, they wanted to kill each other yesterday. So then I had a problem because I didn't want to, nobody was going to be, Judy was coming in the morning, I wasn't staying at the cabin, so ended up having to take Jiminy over to Olaf's and spend the night with Jiminy over there, who didn't know where he was, and woke me up 6 times in the middle of the night. But yeah, so that's all that's going on.
So it's pretty calm. And then Betty nearly died
Betty nearly died this morning. So we brought Betty over to Meredith because the concern is that what's happening with Betty is she's not actually colicking, but she's having trouble because underneath the shavings are mats and they get slippery. So she's just not, she has
She's
issue with
her back legs.
her back legs,
Yeah.
so she needs more room to get up. So we brought her over to Meredith, so she's out in the field with a run-in shed, a big run-in shed. So
Yeah. And she promptly went out, dropped, rolled, and got back up.
Yeah,
I was like,
so,
right,
yeah.
nothing wrong with her. So she's there, and then we've got a nice video. Jasper and Terence have gone to their new home, which is just
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah.
So they're going to still be keeping in regular contact. So
And it's a very strategic placement of Torrance and Jasper, because we wanted them to stay together, and it's right down the road. And the woman who took them, she is
she's a very big supporter.
very, very, very big supporter.
Lovely
And she
lady.
has a lot of young people that want to run with them, and we're putting together. So she's just really kind of parked them for us, so that we can bring in more donkeys that we can train to run and rescue donkeys, because both Torrance and Jasper sadly didn't make the cut as donkeys that we could take into senior centers.
No.
Because, well,
Jasper's got a nervous tummy.
and he poops all over the place. I mean,
Yeah. A nervous,
diarrhea
a
poop.
nervous bummy.
And you
Yeah.
don't want that happening.
No.
And Torrance is too nervous and not quite safe enough. So we have a couple donkeys here that I think will make the cut for going to the nursing.
And we've
nursing
got
homes.
Harley Barley back.
Harley Barley, and it's good because they're right down the road, so we can still use them for donkey walks whenever we need them.
And running.
And running, yeah. So it was a strategic placement, because we do have a lot of animals that were
Moving around about.
moving around, and we got a lot of animals in our care. So, and then Betty White, we brought Elmo over here, which you guys will all notice that Elmo is very thin, and if you think he was thin now, he's put on 500 or 600 pounds.
Yeah.
But I think that he has some, I don't know. He's old. He's Mo's age. We thought he was in his early 20s, but he's much older than that. So he's he's in his very senior years. So it's virtually going to be impossible. I mean, he eats so much special food to try to keep him at the weight he is. He's blanketed right now, but if you take the blanket off, he doesn't look terrible anymore.
No, he's looking a tremendous amount better.
He's got a shiny coat.
He's got a shiny coat.
Yeah.
It's just that you can still see his ribs, and we're working on it.
But it's, I don't think you're ever going to get to the point where he's going to be round all the way around. His back's very hollow.
Yeah.
And we had him on back filler and special supplements. And
we
things
have
like that.
actually had people send in the weight accelerator as
Yeah,
well, which
that's
we're trying.
nice.
We're trying
Yeah,
next.
so it probably is what it is. And he's
Yeah.
on his senior years, and when he can't get up, then it'll be time to let him sleep.
Yes, but he's having a very nice retirement.
Very nice retirement.
And he's lovely.
Oh, when you go up to him in the paddock and you catch him, or you just go out to visit with him, he does this little
He knickers at you, doesn't he?
Like, he's so happy that he's got a home and people love him.
I
So
know.
we really love him.
And when you go into the stall, he comes up and he talks to you. So
Yeah.
he's absolutely
really sweet.
delightful,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
he? So he's lovely to have around wherever you are. And so
we're going to keep him around as long
Yeah.
as he, as long as he's comfortable.
Yeah.
But he's eating and healthy. He's not in any pain. He's just impossible to put weight on. We've been trying for how long have we had him?
oh God, we've been trying for months now.
Like 6 months. We've tried a lot
Yes.
of different things.
And we've had him out on full grass. We've had him on.
And he's just so happy.
He is. And he just wants to be with you. I used to let him out when he was in Meredith. I'd open the gate and I'd let him out, and he'd be like, "Oh, it must be my private stall time," because he's a very peculiar horse in that he doesn't seem to be dependent upon the company of another horse.
No.
In fact, he quite likes not having
He's a single
anyone
Pringle.
else. He's a total single Pringle.
Yeah.
We put him in the stall at night, and he's like, perfect, barn to myself. But he walks up, and if you walk beside him, he just walks. And then if you go for a wee run, he runs beside you.
Yeah.
And then he takes himself into his stall, starts eating his dinner, and he's quite happy for the rest of the night.
He's really nice.
Yeah.
He was one of the nicest
He
standbys
is,
we've
he
gotten.
is.
And he was he's so pathetic when we first got him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And he's a wonderful boy. So he's lovely to have
So when we
around.
take off the blanket, don't call 911 that we're not feeding him, because it is what it is.
We're trying really hard.
Yeah. But I don't think that there's going to be much more improvement that we're going to
No.
be able to make on him. But
He's just
what it
fabulous.
is.
Did you bring your phone in?
I think I did. Oh, it's over there.
Yes,
Yes.
I'll go get it because we'll do the questions.
Okay.
And then so we've got bits and pieces of movement with all the with all the animals going round about, which is nice.
So one question is, what are we going to do about mail call?
What about mail call? We're doing mail call.
I know, but all week, are we going to do mail? I'm here in Massachusetts till the middle of January.
That's more than enough time to be doing mail call.
So hopefully we'll get everything sorted out by the middle of January.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
And so Elizabeth will be doing mail call with me or
your mother
or my mother. We could probably do mail call from.
We've done a mail call from the hospital before.
Yeah.
Oh, and we took Larky in today.
Yeah, we did. Oh, and really, that was
That was like the Larky show, actually.
Yeah, I felt like it was a deja vu because we just did that a month ago, and it was all different nurses and doctors, and he was so good, and people were so excited. What did the doctor said? I'm really sorry. You're one of the best patients we've had in the ICU. I'm sorry that you've.
I'm sorry you were ill.
No, he said, I'm sorry you've gotten so much better that you're leaving. And I was like, nobody's ever said that about my mother.
I know.
In the hospital. Everyone like, gotta go, and everybody's, we walk in and everybody's got a yellow Goldy's
farm
monkey fist, monkey fist. Like, and everybody had them on there.
We had about 15 members of staff. They all took pictures of Larky.
And Larky got on the bed.
And then they said, excuse me, there's a patient in the ICU 2 rooms down, and we're wondering if he would be available for a visit. We were like, sorry, Carlene, see you.
Yeah, so we went around and visited with a bunch of patients after that. When we're all, and that guy, the first one was in really rough shape.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was a good.
But it was really nice because he'd just been lying there and he turned around and he started talking to the dog. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So he's.
So that was good. So at least with all my mother's ailments and having to go in and out of the hospital, she seems to be an unintended consequences. Is there's a lot of happy people in Beth Israel Hospital this time before it was. And the doctor put on his monkey fist, and he's like, "I'm going to remember this day for a long time."
Yeah, and it wasn't your mummy he was talking about either.
Right?
It was the dog.
It was the dog. Yeah, he really liked the dog. That was the other.
And then we had to say to him, "Yeah, anyway, enough about the dog. What about Carlene?"
He started to walk away. We're like, "Wait."
Do we have to do anything special? He's like, "No, she's fine."
Yeah, she's fine.
In fact, she's leaving here. We're like, "Okay,
yeah.
Good to know. Good to know." Oh dear. Oh, yes. So, yes, Elmo probably has greeted a lot of people in the barn alleyway because he's a big social bunny.
Yeah, he's very cuddly.
He is lovely.
Almost as cuddly as Princess over Mary.
Yeah. But he doesn't have eyelashes like her.
Yeah, Princess is really.
Yeah, so they're so super. So yes, the emergency system did work out yesterday.
Yep.
And in fact, it's pretty efficient.
And with all this happening, she managed to cook a turkey dinner and sit down with her family for dinner.
I did.
That's the most remarkable thing. And on top of it, we have been eating pomodori. I had the chicken cutlet today. Judy, there was a bunch of people here, all enjoying the Italian food, so that was really nice too. Because with my mother out, we had dogs to walk, we had the house to get organized and clean because it was a scramble to get her out of here. So it was nice to be able to feed everybody, all the helpers, and Janet just left. So it was really nice to have that.
Yes.
And we'll probably have more for people tomorrow too, because tomorrow we've got other things going on. And then Judy booked a center, that other center that was like the crazy one. You weren't there, where they had like 50 very
active people,
but they were special needs on the spectrum and like very highly dysfunctional, and there was so many of them.
And us.
And there were so many of them that Sizzle and Jiminy went underneath the conference table and wouldn't come out. But Larky and this guy loved it.
Yeah.
So
that'll be super.
So that's a three-man job.
Yes,
there. And they do want the donkeys too, but we'd have to clean up the donkeys. And I said we would do that in the spring.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of projects that we're trying to kind of sort through over the next couple of weeks.
Well, we actually thought we were sorting them through in the next couple of weeks, and then all these other things have just materialized that we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah. So we're in the process of trying to get ready for the future of Goldy's farm, and also maybe putting together another mobile team to do the visits to senior centers, because there's such a high demand that
We can't keep up.
We can't keep up. So we need more bodies. And you ran into somebody at Costco the other day who watches mail call. Why can't
I did.
Why can't
she
come?
She was a lovely lady.
More volunteers to
She's
go
a
to
lovely
senior
lady.
centers.
And if you've got any time available and you'd like to come, please, Judy. Now I know your name and the fact that you go to Costco on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I'll be stalking it next Christmas Eve, see if I can find you.
And I know I've still got a bunch of website work to do, but I really when I was down in Aiken, had so much. I had to paint all the boards and build the house, help build the barn, and then build the run-in shed. So I was actually doing a lot of the, not just general contracting, but also the screw gun.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So my house, I'm trying to get everything done by February 1st. That means right now they're putting up. I just did the run-in shed, and you posted a picture of my run-in shed.
I did.
Well, I watched a lot of DIYs on how to do it. I had my handyman, who's the kind of handyman that will help you put up a TV or fix your plumbing, not build a run-in shed. He watched some DIYs, so we built this run-in shed together. And
from Google.
From Google, yeah. It was pretty comical, but it turned out okay.
And it's still standing.
And then my barn, people are putting up the barn. I'm trying to get all of this situated and done by February 1st, so I want that project behind me, so I can come back and forth.
Lots to do.
Yeah, and if anybody is wanting a little vacation down in Aiken, my house is going to be vacant a lot, and you're more than welcome to stay there. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. That's my daughter.
Good grief.
That's my daughter. She'll be saying, phoning to find out whether or not your mother's okay.
Need.
And is she available for math homework help?
Oh.
Which is what she said. She said, do you think Carlene will help with my math homework? It was at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm going, what?
Maybe we can, it's a typical teenager
move. I know.
Colby does that too.
3 times in a row.
Hey, I don't answer, so he calls back, he calls back.
Yeah.
Till he finally, and it works, because by the 4th time, I'm like, oh, maybe he's
dying.
Emergency.
Yeah, no, not at all. So our emergency system and our backup emergency system was available, and even our bigger backup. So we were very well covered.
When I got here, Carly was actually inside the house taking care of the dogs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked really well. I think that the plan that we have in place. The only plan that seems to be the driver of all of this chaos is the fact that there's a step there, and we had hoped to get her into the laundry room, the laundry building with no steps, but that's the only flaw in the plan that we put together a year ago, and so I was really psyched that I felt badly that Elizabeth had to take Christmas off to go.
Well, we were actually all ready to go anyway, so we were fine.
Yeah,
and
it was fun going into the emergency room to see all the little kids in their Santa outfits and Christmas colors and everything else, throwing up in buckets because they ate too much Christmas candy. But
and everybody was very, very pleasant.
Cheery,
they were very cheery. And your mother still had her Christmas pajamas on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was very festive.
And her socks.
And her socks.
She loves those socks. I don't know where she got those socks.
Do you know, Sandy sent her those socks, right?
Oh, okay.
And from the people that came with the ambulance, they were like, I love your socks. She's like, so she started telling them about the socks and the lining. Yeah. And then we got to the sign-in at the hospital. Oh, I love your socks. Yeah. And then we were in, and everybody that came in said, those are great socks.
Yeah.
So, those were great socks.
Yeah,
so,
I keep meaning to catch up with Sandy. I got to call her. She's on my list.
No, she has not seen Jim yet, because he has not been into the hospital
we can't bring him in, because he wouldn't behave as well as Larky.
No, Jiminy, Larky goes in because he's actually her service dog. Yeah. And what's even worse is she's obviously been talking about her service dogs because there was a request for him to go in from the staff.
Yeah.
And it was obviously for a photo opportunity, as we found out.
Right. We opened up the door and there was like a sea of people.
Yeah,
like,
they were waiting for him, not us.
Yeah.
And not your mother. So we were in sitting with your mother and he's away out in the reception area doing a tour. I was like, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we drove in and we didn't have a vest with us.
No, because we weren't taking him.
And we talked about it. She's like, no, I don't care. He doesn't have a vest. Just bring him in. And I'm like, no. I'm not walking through the Beth Israel Hospital with a Great Dane. Like, I'm not going to sneak him in without. No. But we did manage to find a vest.
There was a vest in the car.
There was a vest in the car. Thank God.
Yes.
Because you can't sneak in with.
And then we gave a woman in the elevator a fright.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
In
didn't
fact,
like
no, and I think she gave him more of a fright.
She did
He
scare.
jumped.
Yeah. We got in the elevator and she was on the phone and she wasn't paying attention, and she shrieked.
Yeah, she
and
can
then
be
went
fright.
right on with her. And Larky, of course, shrieked too, almost knocked us over.
Yeah, he tries to jump back out the doors.
Yeah.
And we're holding on to him going, ah!
And then she just went right on with her conversation and didn't even explain to whoever was on the phone, like, why she shrieked. I thought that was odd. I forgot to tell you that. I thought that was odd. I don't know if
It
you
was
noticed
very
it.
odd.
Yeah, she just went, oh, and then Susie came and I'm like,
You're like,
oh, really?
right.
Okay.
Right. Didn't apologise for upsetting us and the dog, did she?
I know.
No. No, the ICU. It's really funny because I've been into the ICU with you because they're saying, is it not normally family? Didn't think outsiders go in?
I forgot about that. Yeah, they didn't ask you.
No, I just wander in.
Yeah, because I think had we gone in with it just as normal people, not normal people with a gigantic dog.
I was holding the dog.
Yeah,
you were pushing the walker with the big spool of rope on it.
Yes, I was pretending I didn't know her.
They probably thought we were the maintenance team or something. With all the hardware we were carrying.
Yeah. Well, because I've had a call for those emergency ropes that I use for the horses. Yeah. So a friend of mine, she's like, you ought to really market those and get those out there because those are fantastic. So I am taking advantage of my elderly mother, and so I brought this. She wanted to make monkey fists. I'm like, oh, the hell with monkey fists. So I brought in the big gigantic spool of.
It's that height.
Yeah, it's big.
And we needed to put it on the walker to get it in because it's so
how
heavy.
I ended up taking it. I literally rolled down the hill here, and that walker gave such momentum that it flipped, and then I hit a pine cone, and I flipped over and as soon as I got up, I'm like, I bet there's a bunch of people on camera that are laughing right now because I bet that was a funny fall. Because it was almost out of control, and then they must have been saying, she's going really fast. She's gonna fall. Oh, there she goes. Yeah. So
I'm just going to tell people I'm a cousin or something like that, because they always ask me if I'm a relative, and I keep saying I live next door.
Your life is a house of lies. Elizabeth's life of lies. Yes. I'm a relative.
Well, they actually thought I was her granddaughter at one point. Okay.
Granddaughter.
Yeah, they did.
Isn't
I
that
know.
Pretty generous?
I know. I looked at that. They said to me, "Are you her daughter?" And I went, "No." No. And then they went, "You're a granddaughter," and I went, "No." And then I thought, I can't say neighbour because they were asking me about her do not resuscitate.
Oh right.
And I'm like, no, you must resuscitate. I said, because if you don't know if you've got a DNR, resuscitate.
Resuscitate.
And she's like, and your name is? I'm like, Elizabeth. And then squiggle. That's terrible.
Yeah, you're texting me.
Yeah,
is there a DNR? And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
No, we don't know. The consensus is out on that.
Yeah.
But there's not, because she's far too lively.
No, the only consensus that we are completely aligned is that woman is going to outlive all of us.
Yeah.
She's
She's
going to wear us down.
Yeah.
So that we just fall off the earth.
I know. We'll be worn down to the bone with all the instructions she'll be texting us.
Yeah. We should have taken her phone. That would have solved that problem.
She actually asked us for her charger.
We
were like,
we should have forgotten that.
And what was the first thing out of her boy when we opened her bag? It was like, did you bring my charger?
Oh, yeah. Like, she was texting me at 6:30 in the morning. And I don't get up at 6:30 in the morning.
And she was sending me messages about and then the 1:48 this afternoon. Why aren't you here?
Why aren't you
Visiting's going to finish, and we're like, because
and visitation doesn't finish till 8 o'clock at night.
I know.
But she was just getting bored.
We should have told her we're out for lunch or something.
Yeah,
it would really get her excited.
Yeah, so she's a little bored, that's for sure. But if anybody needs any rope things, she's on it. She's got a whole spool in there.
Yeah. Oh dear. So, Betty's going to be okay. Your mother's going to be okay.
Yeah. Are we going to be okay? I
Well,
don't know.
we're trying. We're trying very, very hard.
Very hard. Last night there was a point where I was like, just so worried about the dogs that we were going to put one in this gigantic cage behind us that's the size of, it's huge. We're going to put Jiminy in there so he wouldn't fight with Larky, and then I was going to stay at the cabin. And I texted Elizabeth, I'm like, is there any wine in the cabin? Because I'm not staying there unless there's wine. So that was like a deciding factor.
And then I was like,
oh, the hell with it. I'll
no.
take Jiminy with
and I'm
me.
like, but there is brandy, because your mother keeps offering me brandy.
Yeah, but that brandy is like, I don't know, 12 years old.
Oh, it's probably
maybe
good
longer.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably lethal. Lethal.
Yeah.
More worryingly, pressing problem. When is Judy leaving for her trip?
Oh, that's a good question. She is leaving on January 4th. And we have a senior center on January 4th. So you and I are going to be, we're doing a lot of road shows.
Yeah.
Until, because I leave, well, I'm going to leave after the 8th, because we have a big day on the 8th. And, but I may have to stay longer, because she's got three visits.
Months.
I know, no, Judy's gone till the end of the month.
Yeah.
And she has consistently booked 3 or 4 every week. So that's why we got to put together another team of people. Fine. So you can go, but you don't do the highway.
I can get everywhere in a back road.
Right. So we do need to find some more people to help us with our mission, whether we have to pay them an hourly rate or just volunteers. It is actually really fun.
Yes.
To go. So
especially if you drive the highway.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. We'll figure it out.
We actually asked
it's our priority. Is our mobile team.
Yes, exactly. We actually asked the doctor today, once we got back on track after looking at Larky, obviously, when we could expect Carlene home, and I think the answer was he has no idea.
Pretty much. He went on and on for a while about the no idea.
Yeah, and then we went, we have no idea then. Yeah, he was a super doctor. He was very good, very informative.
Yeah.
And I think that really what we're planning for is just taking every day as we find it. Yeah. There's obviously still a DVT in the leg, and it can throw off little clots that will travel up that would cause more problems. We've got the previous bleeding problem. We've got the lungs that one of them's covered with.
Yeah, I think what they're just going to look for is they're going to get through the clots that are in lungs right now, and the medicine's working, and then they're going to have to figure out an equilibrium
to just keep her.
Yeah, because a lot of people live on blood thinners. Yeah, she just can't fall going in and out of the house anymore.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that became apparent to us is we're going to have to watch her activity level
in the short term, though.
In 3 months.
Yeah, for the next 3 months. Until they know for sure that
and they'll scan her
Yeah.
on 3 months on the dot. And then they'll give us a really good definitive answer as to just where we're placed with blood clots. And if she has to try harder to get rid of them.
So the bottom line lesson here is if you need to go into the hospital, make sure you bring in a Great Dane to get the best care.
Yes, definitely.
A well-behaved dog to get the best care. I don't think Wanda's spectacular enough to get the best care, but and monkey fists, like have a little present for everybody.
Yeah. And if you don't have enough, have your monkey fist and your marble, so that you can make more.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a pattern now.
Yes.
When she goes into the hospital, she gets really good care because she's like dishing out these little
monkey fists
to everybody, and then she brings in it's a thing. She's got a gimmick going on now.
She has. And in fact, she says, and what was it she said? We're facilitating her. And what did she say? I know where I've been because people have got monkey fists.
Yeah.
We were like, well, I suppose that's a lasting image. That's not a bad one to have.
Yeah.
Tell you.
All right. Are there any more questions?
I'm scrolling on. I'm reading. I know, it's because you're talking so much again.
Oh, and then she went on about how much Elizabeth talks.
She did, honestly.
Yeah, poor Elizabeth. Poor Elizabeth.
I'm telling you, she always goes on about that. And I'm like, well, I talk because I answer the questions that you don't listen to.
She can't hear the questions. So she doesn't hear all these people asking Elizabeth questions about the dog. She just sees Elizabeth talking. I'm like, well, there's a two-way conversation going on over there, Mom.
I don't just launch into it. Let me tell you about the dogs.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, so we're all organised. Well, we're as organised as we're ever going to be.
So there will be a mail call tomorrow?
Yes, it's what day tomorrow? Wednesday. Something happens on a Wednesday and I can't remember what. It's the middle of the week, obviously.
I hope that's not the day that Judy has on her calendar. We'll have to check the calendar, but Judy, I know, was reminding me of stuff going on this week.
Was it a Wednesday?
I don't think it was Wednesday. Tomorrow, the day that my morning is because we've got coverage over at Meredith, is tomorrow's poop day for me. I am going over because there's a lot. The paddocks are just poopy. So I'm going to go spend my morning cleaning up poop over at Meredith. Yay! Yay! Love being in Massachusetts now.
Yeah, but it's not frozen.
It's not frozen. It's a good day. So, and I'm gonna. You know what I'm going to do? I'm using the gorilla carts, like probably all of them in a chain fashion, to clean up carts. So, and you could probably drive because
I could drive.
You could drive the car, and
I could drive.
We'll make a mule train of the gorilla carts and get them all done at once.
And you see, I've got this perfect excuse of my big party. Yeah. After wrestling with an animal this morning.
Yeah. And the goats are staying out at night because it's very warm. And they're very hardy.
It is warm. And in fact, people were commenting yesterday about the camera, the yard camera, and the sort of like funny effect. It wasn't my chimney at all. It was the mist.
Oh, yeah, it's really warm.
And my chimney's actually just been serviced. It was serviced on the 17th. So it was not my chimney.
So we have carbon monoxide things
everywhere.
Here. Them in your house, So I think we're good. Yeah.
I tell you.
And we are getting, I'm fixing the toilet down there. By the first of the year, I got to get the septic pumped. I'm on that too. So
once we've definitely found the septic head.
I think
Yummy.
That was Mike's job to find it. I couldn't find it. So, yeah.
Yummy.
Any other questions before we go?
We're done. We're done.
All right. Thanks for caring, everyone, about my mom, and thanks for joining us today on Tuesday.
Yeah, it is Tuesday, isn't it? It feels like Sunday. Oh, dearie me.
All right.
And we didn't bring the mail, and we didn't bring the packages because we rushed up the drive, and
because I had to stop for gas because we were
to stop for gas because she's been very responsible.
I was being responsible.
She was more worried
after the light comes on 30-40 miles, you really should get gas.
Yeah, I think she's more worried about getting stuck on that road with all the dogs and me in the car going, Janine.
Because you talk so much.
I know. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.